Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the CoCo McMillan Show. You may have seen her in Morocco, New York City, Los Angeles, California, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the background singers for Mickey Howard and the late, great Gerald Levert. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the spectacular, Miss CoCo McMillan.
Good evening, and welcome to the CoCo McMillan Show, where we make it happen. I am so excited to be with you today. I pray that everyone is having a fabulous day. This is the CoCo McMillan Show, where we bring some amazing guests to the virtual talk show circuit, featuring our national and our local recording artists, our business owners, our social gurus. This platform is designed for you, for all of the business owners, all of the social media network organizations, the physical and mental health awareness. We have designed this platform for you. We want you to give the opportunity to come on the show to discuss your career goals, your challenges, your product, your experiences, new opportunities, as well as awareness. We have designed it just for you. Listen, if you want to be on the part of the CoCo McMillan show, reach out to me. You can contact me at CoCo McMillan Music at gmail.com. Again, that's CoCo McMillan Music at gmail.com, or any of the social media platforms you can find me if you want to be a part of the show. We want you to come on the show to listen, give us the experience that you've been through, some of the challenges, some of the hard times, the good times, because we believe in promoting the journey of life as millions of people can be blessed just by your testimony. So we want you to come on the show and, just talk to the people, tell them all about what you're doing so we can help each other out. Can you do that? So listen, contact me if you want to be on a part of the show. Hi, Monique. That's so good to see you. So good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Listen, we are streaming live right here on the Facebook Live network, on the IBM network, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, StreamYard. If you're in your home and you have a Roku TV, go to Pod TV Live and you can download it. It's free. Download it and you can watch it there on Pod TV Live right there in the presence of your home. Also, if you're sitting at your computer, you can go to www.podtv.tv and watch it as well. So there is a lot of ways and opportunities for you to watch the show. So we're so glad that you are taking this time right now to come and hang out with your girl, CoCo. I appreciate you. So right now we are doing a roll call. Let me know where you are, what you're doing, where you watching from. I see Monique Taylor is in the house. That is St. Paul's in the house. Come on and give it to me. Let's go with the roll call. I'm excited today because we really have a longtime friend of mine that's with us today. He is absolutely amazing. You're going to love him. I cannot wait to speak to him. But I do want you to do something for me, guys. I do want you to do something for me. There's been a lot that's going on that has happened and transpired this weekend. A lot of deaths in the family that's been really close to me. I want you to keep Pastor Rodney Johnson and the Johnson family, all of the family, the Mayfield family, in prayer as he lost his son this past week to a tragic death. So I really want you to be praying for Pastor Johnson. Everyone knows, I go down once a month to his church, for Asal Community Church. Well, he lost his son, and I want you to keep him and the family. Marcus Mayfield, his wife, his kids, his mother, keep everyone in prayer, because it is a tragic time for them, and we just want to lift them up. Also, keep the Slatt family in prayer as well. My girlfriend Tasha Nobles, her husband father died as well. So just please keep her and Dre and the kids, everybody in prayer, because again, it's a difficult time, for everyone when you lose a loved one and they're not you're not expecting it. So I really want you to lift them up. Another sad news, of course, we lost my girl Tina Turner, legend. She died at the age of 83. Everyone knows Miss Tina Turner. We're definitely truly going to miss her. She was an icon, one of my favorite artists. So we just want to keep everybody in prayer, because it's hard, and it's just not the time when it happens. It's the weeks after, the months after, the years after, where it starts to sink in. So they need to hear from you. So continue to encourage the families and continue to pray for them, because it's not easy and everyone doesn't handle it the same way. So we want you to please keep those families in prayer. Shout out to Mark Lee and Eric Kelly, Wayne Booker, all you guys out there. I just want to say personally here on the show, Kimberly Thompson, I appreciate you guys, because you guys work hard behind the scenes for this show, and I really do appreciate you. Wayne Booker, thank you so much. Mark Lee for running everything behind the stage. Kimberly, all you guys, you are fabulous. Thank you so much for everything that you do. I want to tell you live in person that I love you guys and I really appreciate you. Robin Evans, thank you so much for watching. So glad that you're watching. Again, we're praying for you and the family. And would you continue to lift you up in prayer with everything that's going on? Pastor Timberlake, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Hey guys, as I said earlier, Pastor Timberlake, and he made me think about it because he comes to the coffee shop like 3 or 4 times a week. And when I'm not there, trust me, I get in trouble when I'm not there for my clients. But if you ever in the Cary area, stop by the Amtrak station, the Amtrak depot, 211 North Academy Street in Cary, North Carolina. That is where I am with my coffee shop. Come in and get a cup of coffee, some hot chocolate, some danishes, things like that. Or just drop by and see me sometimes. I'm there every day, every day, Monday through Friday. Let me not say every day because people think I'm going to be there on Sunday. And it's church day. Okay? Church day. But Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. All you early birds, all my early birds, 6 a.m. to 10:30. That's when I'm there. So stop by and see me. I'm inside the Amtrak depot. Robin, I see you out there. So listen, we got some amazing guests that's coming to the show. The next couple of weeks, we have Terrell Harris. She's going to be in. I told you she's going to the Apollo on June the 21st. She's one of my students. We're going to be sending her off real good. So make sure you join the show. I think it's going to be June the 8th. We have some more amazing guests that's coming to the show. So I want you to stay connected. Stay connected with me because we have some things that's getting ready to pop off and happen. If you want to donate to the show or be a sponsor, it's only $30 a month. Make sure you contact us to be a sponsor for this show. We really need your help for doing some of the things that we want to do. So I'm just letting you know I'm here for you. If I'm here for you. You want to be a part of the show, I'm accepting anything that you have. We do appreciate that. So listen, without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring on my guest for this evening. Again, go ahead and do your roll call. If you need to call someone, text somebody, let them know that you're about to spend the next hour with Miss CoCo. Go ahead and do that because I don't want you to miss this guest that we have tonight. As I said earlier, longtime friend, when we were talking backstage, I was like, Tim, I haven't seen you in a long time. He's like 1997. Okay, he had the year 1997. I have not seen Tim, but it's so good to continue to have the friendship and relationship with people that you haven't seen because you can pick up just where you left off. Amen. Can I get an amen on that? So I really appreciate this brother. He's doing some amazing things in the community. Tim Johnson, he is a producer, an entertainer, an educator, and an internationally recognized master hairstylist. He's known for his charisma, his stage presence, his talent in transforming hair into works of art. His iconic career in the hair, fashion, and beauty industry spans more than 3 decades. Wow. With sold out shows, standing rooms, and only productions, and his by appointment only clientele, he's a sought after industry professor who emphasized on notion that image is everything. Tim Johnson's system. Tim entered a highly competitive billion-dollar consumer product market. With Tim Johnson's system, he changed the game by developing impressive direct-to-consumer products with the names like It's Butter Baby, available in natural inspired flavors. Tim formulated each product to ensure only premium ingredients were used and to offer consumers the promise of standing by each product results. He believes in healthy hair, simple, regardless of the texture. Everyone deserves to love their hair, and that's what Tim Johnson does. I want to bring him on tonight to let him talk about hair, beauty, fashion. He does it all. I mean, when I tell you he's absolutely fabulous, amazing. He posted something. He was live this morning And he said something that really stood out to me, when he was talking in this live. He said, what do you want to do? What are you going to do? It's just inspiration that he gives you every day to change your life. Self-help care, self-care, just taking care of yourself. As he said, image is everything. And so before I bring him on, I want you to check out this clip from Mr. Tim Johnson International. Check it out.
What are you doing to your hair? Are you struggling with what to do with your hair? What kind of style you should have? I'm Tim Johnson, and we're going to figure this mess out together. So join me every Tuesday with Tuesdays with Tim as I go live, giving you some wonderful demonstrations and some tips on how to enhance that image. So don't meet me there, beat me there. Blow up, baby. Attention, women of color. Do you have hair? Are you a hair product hoarder? Get rid of all of that shenanigans. Tim Johnson Scissors will replace all of it. Pre-cleanse clarifying shampoo gets rid of all dirt and debris and oil. Moisture Rich 2-in-1 conditioning shampoo. Come on, moisture and conditioner. And finish it off with that energy conditioner to reconstruct and give you that luxurious hair. I'm Tim Johnson. This is Tim Johnson. Replace all that crap on your counter.
Replace all that crap on your counter. Hey, Tim. He's just going to take his foot out from you.
Look, I didn't even know. I'm sitting here, I'm talking to my other people over here on Instagram. I'm telling them, let me know if you're here live. Look, replace all that junk on your counter. That's right. Hey, CoCo, you know as well as I do. Look, our sisters, baby, you got some bathroom cabinets, everything, medicine cabinet, all on the toilet seat, everything, hair products, nothing but hair products.
I knew I was going to be laughing the whole time. I knew it. I loved it, man. I love the video clips. And you know what I love about you, Tim? Because you real, my brother. I mean, tell it like it is. I mean, you will tell them, go on somewhere with that raggedy hair. Just But the flip side is that you make them beautiful, and that's what I appreciate about you. So welcome to the show, Mr. Tim Johnson International.
Blow up, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it.
How you doing, my brother?
Baby, I'm doing well, and I'm so honored to be here, a part of something magnificent that you are doing. Coffee shop, CoCo. Coffee shop, CoCo. CoCo coffee shop. I'm coming to the coffee shop.
Please do.
I want to come down there with the Bishop Timberlake, the Pastor Timberlake. I'm going down there and have me some coffee. I know you got no coffee shop, girl. I'd have been supporting that.
I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I love my clients, my clientele. When I'm not there, my text is going off. The people from Amtrak's like, yeah, listen, you need to do something with your clients. But I love that because it's about serving. It's about giving, making people happy. So, and that's, hey, Cass, how you doing? And that's what you did, Tim. Somebody, when I put out that you were coming, of course, Peggy Tatum said, get ready. Come on now.
Who don't
get
know
ready.
I love me some Miss Peggy. Lord, I love me some Miss Peggy.
Pastor Dewberry, come on, man. He was like, "Oh, nah, that's one of the best right there."
Yeah, the game changers of Raleigh.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Oh my God! And as I said earlier, and I was telling them that we were talking, backstage. It's been since 1997 since I seen you. I was just getting out of college. I graduated in 94. 94. 97 is the last time I seen you, Tim.
Well, you know what? I think we saw each other at the Women's Empowerment. I think because I think you were performing, and I think we spoke to each other whenever. Because I don't know. Did you do? I don't know if you did when the year with Natalie Cole, or I don't know which year. Who was?
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there the year out. But you know what? I was there. But I don't know if I was only there I didn't perform.
I saw you whenever. I think whenever you performed. That's why I asked you when was it that you performed.
I can't remember the year.
Hey, that means we're getting better, baby. We started.
But it's good to see you.
Thank you.
And you have been doing some amazing amazing things. So, for the ones that do, and what's up, Tim Johnson, Instagram fans out there, if y'all listening.
Y'all, this is amazing. CoCo McMillan. If you guys are on Facebook, please jump on my Facebook. You'll see this interview because it can't come on, man. It can't come on.
Yes. So, Tim, let's tell the viewers out here, I read, your bio and everything, but I want them to hear the real deal.
Okay.
Who is Tim Johnson?
Well, first of all, Tim Johnson, it's a pleasure to meet you guys. I'm just a good old country boy from Raleigh, North Carolina, who actually was a single parent raised only child by my mother, who is actually a retired IBMer, who was actually, she retired from IBM in 2005. But as I grew up, she was strict. I was a talented kid that she really did not know what to do with because I was not an average kid. Number one, I was in average classes, but I was always on stage. I was always acting, dancing. I was always in dance contests. I was a drum major in the band, all different kind of things, but I was not a normal kid. But I used to get kicked out of class for laughing and playing, and all the time, and all of my report cards was Tim Johnson does not pay attention in class. But how I got into this industry of beauty and fashion, I was a college dropout at East Carolina University. I did everything in the book that I could, and I had my GPA was a 0.83. I was a voice major who could not read music. I used to sing opera, but I knew no music theory. Yep. That's something.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Why am I learning about a lot of this and I've been knowing you since 97?
Yeah.
CoCo,
I was in a band. We had a band. We performed at the club all the time. I mean, I did all of that. I was toured with the gospel choir. Then me and my wife, we were best friends. The summer that I got kicked out, we created our own group called Truly Anointed, and it was a gospel group of teenagers and right there at freshman college age. We were about 14 of us, and we used to travel up and down the East Coast, and we sung at Richard Smallwood's church and all of that. But how I got into hair, a buddy of mine asked me to cut his hair in college, and I jacked him up. And I became this barber on campus without any, and I just got better and charged $3 a cut. And then that was my fallback. Started doing, you try to get into barber school. My mentor, who was my 8th grade bully, did hair and he made a lot of money. He showed me $75,000 in cash. And he said, this is the type of money that stylists make. And this was in the 80s. So he influenced me. And then that's when things started to skyrocket. It started to really turn for me. I was just a country boy who learned that I could do something with my hands.
Wow. That is amazing. That's an interesting story too. And, I'm sure it can help someone out there just to let them know, don't give up. Something don't work here, you keep doing. You find your gift, your talent, because it's there.
And I just realized I answered the question you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me how I got into the interview. You asked me, so tell me about Tim Johnson.
But that's good. That's good. Because I was going to say something. You said it was a $3 cut. So $3 cut. That was when? What year? Can you remember what year?
1987, 88.
Okay. So how much is a cut now?
Wow. They start at $125. They start at $125. That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How times have changed, just things have changed so much. And
yeah.
Wow. And please tell Anita I said hello. Your lovely wife, Anita.
I will.
Please tell her I said hi. Keisha Daniels. Hi, Keisha.
What's
Thank
up,
you
Keisha?
so much for Keisha.
I love me some Keisha Daniels.
Oh my God. And Tim, we know we have mutual friends. We know my girl Tracy. I think that was probably when we talking about 97, when she was in your shop, how I probably met you through Tracy.
That's exactly how I met you. That's exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, we're not telling our age. We're just telling years. Don't be trying to figure out our age. And all that
Look, don't be trying to count our pockets, trying to count our age.
Right. But listen, because they already counted that 125 you said for the haircut. They counted it up. Right?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? When we say 80s, baby, hey, look, they're looking at us like 80s. How old are you? Hey, black don't crack unless you smoking crack. So
okay. Judy Favors, thank you so much for joining. That's New Jersey in the house. But listen, Tim, so tell us, okay, you're doing hair, you're doing fashion. Let's just back up for a second. coming out of college, you start you doing your hair, doing things, what made you want to grow bigger to your entrepreneurship and all these things like that? What made you want to be more successful? And you knew you had that gift.
Well, the thing about it is I was an expert at failure. I was an expert at failure. I felt like I was a failure. I felt like because I cheated on my high school English exam just to get into college. And then I auditioned into the School of Music and could not read music, but I swooned them with my capability to sing. And then while I was in college, because I did know music theory, I was failing drastically. And it just seemed like it was a routine of just failing. You know what I'm saying? And then I was trying to convince myself to go to barber school, and I couldn't get into barber school because I was afraid to tell my mom that I was put on academic probation. And from just a routine of just failing, and I had all of these different things. And honestly, I was really going through a major, I would say a crisis during that time. And it's something whenever you're dealing with a crisis, even from a teenager. I was 18 years old at that time, going into 19. And I was dealing with a crisis, but I was supposed to be on point with grades. I was telling her things were going good in school. I was, facing things with a facade, but I was crumbling at the same time. So what happened was I couldn't get into barber school because the waiting list was too long. So from that, I was really going through this thing. That's when I really built the relationship with God. I knew about God from singing in the gospel choir, but when I got introduced to having a personal relationship with God, and then I heard about the Holy Spirit and then him leading and guiding me and teaching me and coaching me, I had to rely on God to get me out of this situation that was a whirlwind at that time, and honestly, I just stepped out on. I was trying to get into barber school. So how I was going to do this? How I'm going to let her know? I can't just tell her that I got out of school. I had to come up with a conclusion that I don't want to go to college anymore. This is what I want to do. But this that I want to do wasn't happening, So it just, my whole life has been a journey like that, because the things that I began to do, it was very, very, very seldom was I finding people who was doing what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So me not having a whole lot of, similar, like doing a show, there was no one around when I did my first fashion show that did shows other than Bronner Brothers, going to the big show,
Yeah.
The thing with failure and making a stand saying that God, if you're God and you saying that if I believe in you, that you are leading, you'll guide my ways, that you would actually show me things that I had not seen. And I would hear people of God, they would always prophesy and say to me, and I used to love going to church as a little boy. And it was a traditional church, but I love the church that my family we grew up in. And I used to love hearing the pastor. It was a woman, Pastor Nancy Ford, and her husband. They were two short couples. And every service, at the end of service, I would go through the kissing line as a little boy. I used to call it the kissing line. They hug everybody and with the spiritual leaders. But she used to always say to me, you know what, God is going to use you. God is going to use you. And her husband was the co-pastor. He used to say, you know what, God is going to use you, man. You're going to be a powerful somebody when you grow up. So those words always resonated through my spirit. After everything that I would go after, it would make me go after it harder, because I would say in those places of darkness and failure, God, I know you got more for me.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's powerful, Tim. Because you talk about your journey and the challenges that you had, and even with your first show, do you feel that your first fashion show, was it successful, or do you feel like it was a failure? How was that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My first fashion show shocked me, and it was so successful that it was a sign and a wonder to me. Because it was actually a confirmation from God that what I believed him for, I could accomplish.
Woo!
And whenever I did it, honestly, I came back from the Bronner Brothers show, and I remember this in 1991. And a buddy of mine rode with me to the Bronner Brothers show and came back with me. And on that whole road back, he was telling me I had never experienced anything like that, Tim, because he didn't do hair. He's like, I never seen anything like that. He said, you know what, Tim? And this is like halfway from Atlanta to Raleigh. He said, you ought to do a show like that. And I said, what? He said, Tim, you ought to do a show. I said, do a show?
Wow.
He said, do a fashion show and a hair show. You ought to do it. I know you can do it. Tim, you done been on stage. You done been in theater. Because I had done theater and all of that stuff in high school.
Yeah.
And he sold me.
Wow.
He wasn't selling me anything else that anybody had done. He kept saying to me, I mean, it was like for hours. I heard him the whole trip.
Wow.
You could do this if anybody could do something like that. And honestly, I felt so strong in my spirit and in my heart.
Yes.
The whole plan was coming. He was like, all you got to do is just get you some people that look good and you turn them into models. I didn't have a model coach. I trained the guys. I trained the girls. I mean, I had kids in the show. I did the hair, and the people that I had worked with before I pulled them on stage, I told them, I want y'all to prepare a hair presentation. We're going to do a hair presentation at the show. My client worked at the radio station. I talked to her. I said, how do you get on the radio station with a radio ad? She said, I'll create a schedule for you. I'll never forget it. And the whole thing, God just put the whole thing together like a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
And what happened was I was practice at my friend's salon because they were building a salon next door to their salon. And they would let me use that space to practice. And I didn't know nothing about other than what God gave me. And I just trusted him through the whole entire process. And honestly, that room was 450 seats, my very first fashion show. And I had vendors, I had models, I had hair, every chair was filled. The show was a success. And honestly, the tears that I had I was like, God, you really, and I was really scared to do it because I was super saved. When I say super saved, I was full of the Holy Ghost. I was so full of the Holy Ghost, you were full off of my fullness of the Holy Ghost. I was scared to do it because
full off my fullness.
Full of the fullness, baby. I was scared because I was scared to do something that I felt like God was not going to be pleased with. But I was unstoppable. I couldn't stop doing it. You know?
Yeah.
After that show, I caught the bug. It became another show. Then it became another show, you know.
And I've seen the presentation, the flyers, and I was like, Tim Johnson doing it because Miss Mabel Dunn.
I love Miss Mabel. Yeah.
But that is so amazing how that should encourage somebody out there tonight that's listening, how he stepped out on faith. And when God is in it, God will bless it. You understand what I'm saying? So he gave you all the favor that you needed to make it happen. And your first one was successful. You trained the models, you did their hair, you coached them. I know that you was a tired brother after that.
I was tired. But the adrenaline, I remember this laser clear. The adrenaline from being on faith, the adrenaline, it's a ride.
Yeah.
It's just like you're doing your first recording project.
Yeah.
It's a ride. You don't know nothing about feet. You just getting there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that about no toes. You just getting there. You know what I'm saying? You'll forget to eat.
Right.
Somebody tell you need to eat because the adrenaline of what you're getting out of your spirit, writing a song, writing a book, whatever it is,
right?
You're on that. I'm a creative.
Love it, Tim. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Cedar Grove Missionary Baptist Church. Hello. Thank you so much for watching. So listen, Tim, I have so many questions. I'm just so excited. I'm learning so much about you, and I knew you. That's crazy. Like all this stuff that you're doing. Wow. But tell us about. You have a Tim Johnson system. I think you have a lot. Tell us about how you came up with this ideal and where can they find it? How can they get your product? To just tell us what you're doing with the Tim Johnson system.
Okay, first and foremost, whenever I started doing my shows, right, I started doing this presentation in the middle of my fashion shows and my hair shows, and I would be the one that was the presenter on the stage. So this is like early 90s. So as I would do these presentations, I would actually present the styles that I was forecasting that was going to be coming out. I remember doing the doobie rap and the raps. So I remember whenever I would be on stage, I would actually have something. I would have rocky music, dun, 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 you know. So I'm doing a presentation similar to what I would imagine I would be doing if I was on a Bronner Brothers stage. So everything that I would do at my show, I was like, if I was doing this on Bronner Brothers stage, I would be doing it like this. So I would grab some of my models who had hair that I felt like was pretty, you know, to do. I would actually do their hair on stage with the music, and I have my lights flashing and fog and stuff. So what happened was my distributors who would sell me their products, they would come, and one of the distributors was from Bronner Brothers. He came to the salon, and he would always come to my shows because he would be a sponsor. I never forget Woody Miller, and shout out to you, Woody, if you're listening to this. But Woody invited me to go to a resort that Bronner Brothers used to own down in Alabama, Dothan, Alabama, which was called Cottonwood Estates. And they had it was actually a vacation, but it was training that stylists could come to, and they could come and learn, get skills. But I was going for the rest because he invited me. I said, I'm going, and I'm going to do it for myself. And got down there, and I learned about platform artistry. I was already doing it at my shows, but I learned about this skill about platform artistry. And platform artistry is where you would present a product on stage at a hair show, and you work with that company. So Daryl Bronner, which is the late Daryl Bronner, who was the brother who used to direct the Bronner Brothers shows. And, you know, for those of you who don't know Bronner Brothers, it's the largest urban hair show in the world. And during this time, they would have over 100,000 people in attendance in the August show. That's the midsummer show. And in the midwinter show, they would have over 70,000. So I'm there. I see Mr. Bronner walk in. I see Mr. Jerry Dingle, who's the regional vice president of sales. And I'm sitting there looking at them. I'm not awed or nothing, but I'm just, you know, honored to be. I'm a church boy. I'm a praise and worship leader during this time. Just on vacation, who know how to do some hair. Country boy know how to do hair. Love the stage. Right. I presented the product. They turned around, offered me a contract to travel the country and to endorse the product and to do hair on stage. After they heard my voice, they turned around and contracted me as the host. So I hosted all of the road tours, and then I began to be the host for the Bronner Brothers show at the Atlanta show. So look at God. I used to imagine myself on the stage while I was doing my own shows, and it opened up doors from my imagination. And that's why God says there's nothing that you can imagine to do that you will not accomplish. So I wound up being the host for the whole Bronner Brothers show for like 12 years. In doing so, I worked with behind the scenes with the top chemists. So with me working with the top chemists from Bronner Brothers, I would work with the chemists and then I got contracts with Mazzani, then with L'Oreal, then Red Pro Kiss, with Salon Exclusives. These are different lines that I actually travel the country and the world with. And I always work with the chemists. From working with them, I had a relationship with a chemist who is phenomenal, who created my whole entire hairline. I have 14 products in my hairline. This is one of my products right here, which is called Rebound. And Rebound is a leave-in conditioner for all of those women women of color who actually are always talking about they have heat damage. They don't know where they want to embrace their curl pattern. So it's a leave-in conditioner to actually cause your curl pattern to rebound. So that's just a little bit about my hair product line. And you can find that on timjohnson.systems, not timjohnson.systems.com. It's timjohnson.systems. And you'll see my entire product line. And right now we are looking for brand ambassadors, and we're looking for campaign models for transformations with our hair product. And you do a photo shoot, and we do the whole makeup and all that. Oh! Hey!
You said a magic word. Everybody gonna be contacting you. Come on now. What is that do? But I love it. Let me ask you something, Tim. So do you have something? I got a question here. Do you have something for natural hair if someone's going natural?
My whole product is multifunctional. My product line, I have a shampoo, which is a pre-cleanse shampoo, and then I have a moisturizing conditioning shampoo, and then I have an energy conditioner that could be used as a one-step conditioner, or you can use it with a plastic cap or under a steamer for treatment. All of that falls under natural or relaxed hair. Then my next product, which is my Rebound, that is the leave-in conditioner. This is great for natural hair, especially if you want to embrace your curl pattern. Gentlemen can also use this on a dry beard. If you got a dry, hard to tame beard, like our friend who was just on the line with us before we came live, he could actually put this on his beard dry. I'm talking about, and if you have a beard, gentlemen, you guys know as well as I do, it is a very tedious situation trying to comb through that 4C beard. You know what I'm saying? But you
Mhm.
put this on that 4C as well as on your 4C hair dry, it will automatically soften. And all of my products has a patent pending growth formula.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Listen, I hope you guys are listening to this, taking these notes. Make sure you contact Tim, especially for us to have coarse hair.
4C
Coarse-
hair. Yeah, this is the leave-in condition, and then you got my my oil, which is my hydrating growth tonic. It's a growth oil, and it's actually enriched with my patent pending growth formula as well. That is perfect for your scalp, perfect for your conditioning treatment. If you got ashiness, dryness, or you got medication in your system and you're dealing with the dryness in your hair, it'll actually help that impact on your hair as well. Okay.
Wow. That's amazing. And we have his information that's running at the bottom of the screen. Make sure that you contact him, reach out to him and everything. You know, I think his client base is I don't know, you know, because you know his clientele it's different. You know, you got to want to have your hair done. You got to want to look good. You got to want. How can they contact you?
I'm gonna say it like this, and I love the way you're saying it, CoCo. I deal with women, and when I say I deal with women, not that you cannot be young. I deal with even young women.
Yeah.
I deal with women that know that their image is absolutely okay. No, I'm saying important. It's absolutely important.
Yeah.
Most of my clients, I don't deal with know-it-alls. I don't deal with pseudo-intellectual clients that know everything about hair. Most of my clients rely on me. Not that you got to be hair dumb,
right.
They deal. It's like they know and they trust my professional skill and my expertise, and I take care of their hair. Most of my clients, if I say, so do you want to get it trimmed? They'll look at me like, Tim, why are you asking me something like that? Well,
right.
This is your hair. I just come in for you to take care of my hair. You know what I'm saying? So my clientele, I only work 3 days out of the week. I only work Wednesday through Friday, and I take a very limited amount of clients.
But you know he's good. Let me put a plug in there. You know he's good Wednesday through Friday, 3 days. Come on now.
I don't do Saturdays, but the thing about it is I will work outside of those days. But the only time I work on a Saturday or earlier than my schedule or later than I normally work, those are called cater to you appointments. Ooh. So those cater to you appointments, if you want me to come in early, it's a fee on top of the regular fee for me to come in and do you on my day off, or to come in and do you earlier than I work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I do come to your home, I don't mind making visitations. I don't mind if you want to fly me out to do your hair. All of that is an incurred rate. So we handle all that with a half day rate or a day rate. But the bottom line is that's how we roll.
That's how we roll. And tell me something, Tim. You know, you know about beauty, you know about hair, you know about image. How, you know, if someone was to ask you the question, how important is your hair, or is your image of hair? What would you tell them?
Image is absolutely everything. Image is absolutely everything. You can tell a person's intelligence about how they take care of their hair. Yeah. You can tell it's equivalent to you, someone coming and meeting you, and their hair is everywhere and they don't look like they take care of it. That can go from the style, that can go from what the hair looks like, if it's healthy or not. That can go all the way to what does the scalp look like. That can go to the fragrance of what your hair smells like. Yeah. That goes from do you have edges and you're not doing anything about it? If you know how long you leave a protective style in, it looks like you're kept, or you take care of yourself, or you don't. Okay. And it doesn't matter how much we are not our hair. Bottom line is your hair is talking while you're not.
Ooh.
Okay.
Somebody need to put that in the chat.
Yeah.
Your hair is talking while you're not. Okay.
It's no different than someone talking to you and you smelling their breath. Your breath is talking while you're not. You know, it's just like you can smell their breath in their mouth, not even open. You know, it says that they look at you in a different way. People are not listening to the fact or looking at the fact that you may have a condition. They automatically assume you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
So gone are the days, and I'm not saying I have clients that come and they're natural. And I don't care if you're 4C, because in my time of me doing hair, we didn't have 4C and all of these numbers. We just had curly, over curly, springy, you know what I'm saying? Thick, or you had, coarse, You know what I'm saying? We had all different things that we described hair with. Porous, or you know what I'm saying, over elastic, hair that's over processed. We had all different kind of terminologies for it. But the thing about it is now people embrace different terminologies, and you got to be able to know how to relate to
Yeah.
people, all type of people. I don't consider myself as a natural hair expert that do the natural hairstyles, but I got natural hair clients that love my treatments and the way that I take care of their hair and my
Yeah.
approach to hair. So I have some that have come to me for me to take care of the health of their hair, but when it comes down to the style, I'm not a natural hair expert. I don't proclaim that. But
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. See, and that's good. And
Yeah.
being honest, man, just being honest, being
Know your
direct.
lane. Know your lane.
Know your lane. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Now, who are some of the people or some in artistry that inspired you? I know Warner Brothers was one of them, but who are some of the other people in your life that inspire you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I absolutely loved and adored. I love for the business and her mindset, Miss Carolyn Covington, which was Carolyn Marshall at that time, who owned In-Flight Hair Salon. I don't know if you remember that back in the day.
Yes.
Carolyn Covington. There's none like Miss Carolyn Covington. Carolyn Covington, you had to get up way early in the morning. She had a salon in Silver Springs, Maryland, had one in Richmond, had it in Raleigh, had it in Greenville, North Carolina. She had a school hair options, had a hair magazine, and
Yeah.
Carolyn had, and you would go into her salon, and it was set up like you were getting on a plane. You would come in and get your boarding ticket, and you would go to your flight attendant, whoever you were on board with, and she had the whole concept like that. She was
Yes.
in Raleigh to have a hair salon from a Black standpoint. It was In-Flight Hair Salon.
Yeah.
In-Flight. So that was
Yeah.
one of my mentors. Pat Watson, she was one of my mentors. Alvin Massenberg. I will never. Alvin was the one who got me into doing hair. He was the one who convinced me that day because I didn't want to do hair, women's hair.
It was Alvin. Okay.
It was Alvin. I didn't want to do women's hair, and I was cutting his hair on a Saturday when he was closed. And he asked me, why don't you just go to cosmetology school? I said, I don't want to go to cosmetology school. He said, why? I said, I don't want to do women's hair. I want a barber. He said, why? I said, well, number one, hairstylists don't make money. He said, oh, they don't. I said, well, it doesn't look like they make money. You know what I'm saying? Because Alvin did not wear his money. Alvin, his whole concept was you go to work in work clothes, but whenever they see you in public, you drive your in public car. But in the salon, you give them what they need to see. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
He always had two ways of that. He was one of my that was my 8th grade bully. And I told him, I said, I didn't want to do women's hair. And he said, why? I said, I don't want to be talked about, like that, because men, it wasn't popular for men doing hair during that time. And he said, but don't you sing? I said, yeah. He said, don't you act? I said, yeah. He said, aren't you one of the baddest dancers at the club? You win all the competitions at the club. I said, yeah. He said, Tim, they're already talking about you. He said, you might as well make some money and give them something to talk about. But he showed me that $75,000 in cash that he had saved up. And he was 19 at that time. So he showed me that. I said, show me where I need to go sign up. So Alvin Massenberg, Floyd Kenyatta, Barry Fletcher, Olive Benson, Thomas Hayden. These are what you call legacies in the industry. And these are the people who write the book for Black hair artistry and how to really do it. Gone are the days that you could just sew down a wig and just go in and say, because you got a bunch of clients coming to get a wig, because you live long enough, you're going to see the trends come in and go out. You're going to see the trends
right.
Go out. Because, we done seen French rolls, we done seen barrel curls, we done seen, all of it.
All of it.
I done seen finger waves go in and come out about 3 or 4.
Okay. Do you remember that?
Pixie cuts and finger waves. That's it. That's it.
In and out. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. This is amazing. You've given us a lot of information. I love the way when I asked you about, who inspire you, you was just naming them. And see, that's good because that means that you learn and you watch, these people as you've grown. And that's what it's all about, being a trailblazer for someone else. If there was somebody here or one of the viewers out there that want to get started in hair or not even hair, fashion or whatever they want to do, what is some of the advice that you would give them to mentor them?
One of the main things is this. I'm going to tell you this first thing and foremost is you show me your 4 closest friends, I can prophesy to you your future.
Ooh.
So whoever you hang around is going to determine where you're going to go. You can't
Ooh.
tell me you got big dreams and big visions, but you're hanging around people that keep you where you've always been or keep you where you always wanted to leave.
Wow.
You're going to have to get away. You're going to have to get around people that either challenge you or people that make you feel very uncomfortable because they're not like you. And you're going to have to go into rooms and spaces that you feel intimidated.
Yes.
And you're going to have to rebuke that off of you. Okay?
Yes.
You're going to have to rebuke all of that off of you. Why? Because you're saying that God is taking you somewhere and you need to belong where you see yourself going.
That's right.
Now, the next thing is this. Fear will always dominate you if you don't take upon yourself a relationship with God. You're going to have to get you a good relationship. And I'm not talking about the way CoCo has hers. I'm not talking the way like Mother Jenkins has hers.
Right.
I'm not talking the way Bishop or Pastor so-and-so has his.
Yes.
You're going to have to build a quality relate. Quality means you really rely upon.
Yes.
Not that you're perfect, but you rely upon.
That's right.
A relationship with God that you can partner and say, God, where I want to go, only you can take me because I don't know what it feels like until you get me there. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you rely on God for that and you partner with him for that, and then you trust him for that, you step and you keep stepping. And if you step and it feels like quicksand, just remember it's hard up under it. Keep stepping.
Keep stepping.
And if it feels like it's water going down, you just keep stepping. I remember the movie The Temple of Doom with Indiana Jones, and he had to go from one side of a mountain, had to go all the way across another side, and there was an abyss down at the bottom. Yeah. And I remember he was like, how do I get from here to there? How do I get from here to there? And it was nothing but just miles down, just an abyss. And he had a bag with sand on his hip. And he pulled out that bag and he grabbed that sand and he said, walk by faith. He said something like walk by faith. He took that sand and threw it out there. And on that was an invisible bridge going from one side to the other side. So my whole thing that I'm saying to you is whatever it is that you believe in for, if it's a show, if it's a product line, if it's a hair salon, if you want to be a stylist, don't just want to be a stylist, want to be the state's best stylist, want to be this. I already knew whatever God called me to be. I said it from 14, 16 to 17 years old. I'm not called to this city. I'm not called to this state. I'm not called to this region or to the East Coast. I'm not called to the United States. What God has called me to do is going to be to the world. So you got to see yourself bigger than you have been seeing yourself.
Yes.
Don't slate yourself. Don't slate.
Woo, that was good right there, boy. Oh, that was good. I see the chats, guys. G. Johnson, Irvington, they are just chiming in. Got a question about the BBU Awards. Talk to us about that.
Well, the BBU Awards is actually, I created that about 2017, and I was in my kitchen at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was talking to a good friend of mine, Alva Page, who's an international model coach now. He's one of my best and dearest friends. And I was like, I want to create something. I want to create something, and I want to bring in the industry's who's who, the best of the best. And I was trying to come up with something. I was like, I can do it as a workshop where I can bring in, the best of the gurus of the industry, and I want them to come on stage and just do hair presentations and let people see them and ask questions, and I would host it, And I was like, as I was saying this, it was unfolding and coming out of me, but I also want to do a fashion show, and then I want to recognize them, and I want to recognize those that I don't know. How do I get the ones I don't know?
Right.
I want the people to be able to recognize those that I don't know, because people know their stylists and those barbers that are better than what I even imagine, because I've never seen them. All of them don't know me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to do an event, and I'm going to do an awards event. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an awards event. And I said, and I'm going to call it something. I was trying to think of the name. And Alva was sitting there, and I was like, Alva, help me out. I'm trying to come up with a name. And I was like, the best of the best. Hair gurus and all of that. And he was like, why don't you just call it BBU? And I was like, BBU? I said, it sounds like, he said, call it BB, Barbers and Beauty and Barbers. And I was like, BB, that sounds like Bronner Brothers. I don't want to steal their concept. Right. I don't want to try to intrude on their intellectual property. And he said, just call it BBU. I'm like, BBU? He's like, yeah, Beauty and Barbers United.
Wow.
And I created the Beauty and Barbers United Awards around 4:00 in the morning at my kitchen table. And I was so ignited, I could not go to sleep. And I tell people all the time, when you hear me talk, if you hear me, if you're there and God is dealing with you with something, one of two things is going to happen to you. Either you're not going to be able to sleep tonight, or you're going to be up, or you're going to go to sleep and sleep better than you ever slept before, because you're going to have rest about what you're doing. So when I created the BBU Awards, I threw it together in 3 weeks. I did that show, and I had about 600 people at that show. It was sold out. I had a trophy designer to customize the trophies. I did the whole nine. We put the whole thing together, and I didn't know how I was going to get these nominations. So, and guess when I created how the nomination processes were going to be? I got on the phone, and because I asked somebody, who is the baddest barber in Fayetteville? And I had people that kept talking about this Dominican guy, and I called the barbershop. And he got on the phone, the owner, and he spoke very little English. I said, I just want to let you know that you were nominated for a BBU Award. And he said, a BBU Awards? I said, yeah. I said, it stands for the Beauty and Barbers United Awards, and you've been nominated for Best in Barbershop. And you were nominated for Best in Barber. And he was so honored. He said, so tell me, what do I need to do? I said, I will send you a text message that you're going to have to send to people to make sure that you get your votes.
Right.
They're going to have to text this number or send this email to this email. And I created it as I was saying to them, I say your name, vote for that person's name for Best in Barbershop. By the end of that day, I had over 120 emails from him.
What?
That let me know without a shadow of a doubt I was onto something.
Yes.
So my concept for how I did it, it was unrolling out of me as God was giving it to me.
Yes.
And then I went to the next barbershop. I kept asking people in those areas. Some places I would even go visit. So tell me, who's the baddest makeup artist here? Or you can go through the mall or look on social media, who had the baddest face. And you want to find out. So right now, we're about to do the 5th annual BBU Awards. It has grown to right now, we'll have about 1,500 people there this year, and it'll be this summer. And the date for it right now on the books is August the 20th. And with I think, yes, Sunday, August the 20th. And we're going to be doing it right here in Raleigh. But we're doing the road to the BBUs, where we'll be at Charlotte, Greensboro, Fayetteville, and Raleigh. And we'll be doing auditions. We'll be doing podcasts, live podcasts, and different things like that. So it's blowing up big.
Oh, God, I love it. BBU. So it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. So y'all, you guys stick with him. Make sure you follow him. There's a couple of questions I'm gonna try to read. I'm gonna try to read some of them.
I'll answer them fast so we can get to all of them. I'll do
do you have something for men and women with receding hairlines?
I do. I have a system in my hair product line called Grow. And in my Grow system, I have three different phases of my hair, skin, and nail vitamins. It's called Grow, hair, skin, and nail vitamins. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Now, it's a 6-month system. And in that 6-month system, you get 2 bottles of phase 1, and you get a bottle of phase 2, and you get a bottle of phase 3. Now, understand this. Phase 1, you have to go through phase 1 2 times because it's 2 45-day supplies. And actually, you take that vitamin, actually, in phase 1, it's like a ready tab. It's a dissolvable tab, like a sweet tart.
Okay.
And it tastes like a strawberry lemonade, sweet tart. And what happens, it has no aftertaste, but you would do one in the morning or you do one in the evening. And understand this, it tastes so good. For those who love candy, you're thinking that you're going to want to eat it like candy. But the most important thing is you got to drink a lot of water. But you will go through 2 bottles of that, and then you go through a 60-day supply of the phase 2, and then you go through the last 30 days of phase 3, which is a 10,000 micrograms of biotin and collagen. It's very good for the skin, the nails, and the hair as well. But you need to drink a lot of water.
Wow, I love that. So you can eat candy to eat good, and your hair will be growing at the same time. I love it. Y'all definitely have to connect with Tim. Miss Williams, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Someone wants to know, do you know Marcy D?
That name sounds so familiar.
Out of Durham, hairstyle.
Yeah, Marcy D. I can't remember their face, but I remember that name.
Yeah.
Hair shows and hair competitions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I think Mr. Board, that's downtown Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Well, listen, Tim. I know you have. Thank you so much, because if you guys can see in the
Tracy
background,
just
he's
came on.
still
She
at
said,
work.
hey. Tracy just said, hey. Tracy
Hey,
Freon.
Tracy.
What's up, Tracy?
What's up, Trey? That's my girl, man. I gotta tell you.
You said that was Brian Dawson's dad. That was Brian Dawson's dad used to have, because Brian Dawson was he used to do the hair shows. That's before Brian blew up on the radio station. He used to do all that. He used to do a big hair show, and my salon would come in and we would do a presentation along with all of the top salons around the world. Yeah.
Yeah. See, a small world, right?
Yes,
small
it is.
world. Let me tell you something funny about Tracy one time. So you know how big Tracy is, and I had some sideburns, Tim. I never wanted nobody to cut my sideburns. Tracy, so I had the sideburns. I had the scissors about 30 minutes, right? She was looking all over the shop for the scissors, and I had them under my coat thing and hide them because I didn't want her to cut my sideburns. So she said, well, you can walk out of here like you want to, looking like Prince. You talking
Oh my God. That sounds just like Tracy. Because Tracy does not play.
I love it, man. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. You just brought back a lot of memories, and just all the information that you fed the viewers today was so helpful, from fashion to beauty to your hair, and just, about making a decision of what you want to do going forward, even through your challenges and the struggles, you still stayed on the right track, and God blessed you. And, I'm just so grateful what you're doing, what you got coming up. Guys, I want you see his information at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you follow him. As he said earlier, can you tell that one more time, Tim, about, about following you, and they could be in a photo shoot?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me on everything Tim Johnson International. On Instagram is Tim Johnson International. Facebook is Tim Johnson International, Tim Johnson Productions, as well as the BBU Awards Productions. And you can also follow me on my website, which is timjohnsoninternational.com. Also, too, the events that I got coming up this year, I do have something spectacular for kids that's coming up, because some of my hottest models is my TJ Kid models. So we got a whole event that's coming up for kids. Stay tuned for that. As well as I do have, as I mentioned, the BBU Awards, which is coming up in August. I do have a conference that's coming up as well in October. And that conference is called Mogul the Conference. Okay. Which is actually for all business individuals. And we got some powerful keynote speakers that's going to be coming out. That's my first conference, okay? And that's a faith-based marketplace ministry conference. So if you feel like God is calling you into the marketplace to do something tremendous, I don't care if it's a podcast, a TV show, or beauty product line, a clothing line, you need to be at that conference. And I cannot forget the amazing Pink Holiday Fashion Fair.
Yes, that was my next one.
Yes, do that in December. It's always the first Sunday in December, and it's a very, very large event that we do in celebration of those that have triumphed over breast cancer. So I don't care if it's a male or female. I don't care if you lost a loved one and the battle and the war against breast cancer. I don't care if you are in remission or you just got diagnosed or you have a loved one that you're standing in proxy for. I want you to be there at that event. The tickets, they go extremely fast. So you guys will know my tickets go extremely fast. To God be all the glory. Okay.
Tim, so I just heard that your ticket sells out in minutes.
They sell out. They do. To God be all the glory, CoCo. To God be all the glory. And then if you have a business, if you got, I don't care, we have vendors. We always have vendors. We usually do 25 to 50 vendors. They go fast as well, because I drive people to, this is not, my events are not set up where you come in as a vendor and we got you in a room all the way over somewhere else and all the people are over here. So we make sure that when you come in as a vendor that we drive people to you. We even send them in halftimes to send them out to the vendors. And then we even bring vendors up and we interview them live on the stage. Okay.
Wow.
We treat our vendors almost like they're a sponsor. Okay. So when it comes down to sponsorships and, partnerships, when we put out our sponsorship deck, you need to always, when you hear me go live about any event, check out the website immediately. And if you got a car lot, dentist office, I don't care if you got bundles of hair you sell, you got a shoe company, I don't care if you making teeth whitening or you in a network marketing, whatever it is you got, you need to have a sponsor, be a sponsor and a partner. Go big or go home. When you ride on my advertisement, we have over 60,000 emails in our email list and affiliate emails. We also have all of our ads that we blast on social media, as well as I do live campaigns with all of my sponsors and all of my vendors. So you don't ever want to miss an event.
Yes, I love it. There we go. That was Tim Johnson International. Make sure you check him out. Make sure you sign up. Make sure you get your tickets for the event, even though it's in December and all these things he have coming. It's better to be the early bird so you won't miss your shot of being a part.
Can I say this last thing, CoCo, too?
Johnson Experience. Yes.
Also, I have my coaching program that I'm about to release next week. And my coaching program, I do online coaching as well as I do in-person coaching, and I do group coaching. So if wherever you are, and I am a licensed life coach as well, but I don't use the title life coach. I'm a destiny coach. So what we do is we activate. My gift is activating your gifts and getting you from being onto something. And I got an idea about something, and I was thinking about doing something, and we manifest that. You got to be accountable, and a coach does not tell you what to do. A coach will actually will set fire on you to do what it is you said you want to do.
That's right.
We walk alongside you, okay? So you
right.
don't want to miss anything that we got going. So if you're interested in any coaching programs, or you're interested in if you say you need a mentor, because I would have never been able to do what I do without mentors and coaches in my life. I have a coach. I believe pastors need a pastor. You know what I'm saying? If you pastoring or you coaching and you ain't got no coach, you don't need to be coaching nobody if you're not accountable to. All right, so that's just where I'm at. Thank you, CoCo.
I love it. I love it, Tim. Thank you so much again. Thank you for taking time out your schedule to be on the show to give us these beauty tips and everything about you. So we're gonna have you back pretty soon. We want to still stay in contact with you. We love you here on the show.
Oh, I was so honored when you invited me, because all I've heard was amazing things about your show. And hey, this is huge. This is really huge, and I'm just honored. You know what I'm saying? And hey, if you wouldn't have been huge, I still would have done it because of you. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah. I really do. When Wayne told me you were coming out, I was like, oh my God, my boy. That's my brother right there. So I'm so glad that and thank you, Wayne Booker, for setting this up.
Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne.
Wayne
Booker. It's good when people are, looking out for you, helping you, through because I can't do it by myself. Yeah. You understand? So, the team is amazing. So thank God, to God be the glory for everything. So Tim, thank you again. We love you, man. We'll be talking to you soon. Much favor to you. And know, as I always say, the best is yet to come. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Blow up, baby.
God bless you, my brother. Thank you.
Love you, sis.
Yeah, love you too. Oh my God, that was absolutely amazing. Listen, Tim keeps it real, and also giving you some good pointers about your beauty, your hair, and just making that connection with God, keeping God first in everything that you do. And I always say about trusting in the Lord. Again, make sure you check us out. We're going to be back in the next couple of weeks with some amazing artists. As I told you earlier about Terrellyn, my student is going to the Apollo on June the 21st. Make sure you reach out to her too and just give her some encouraging words. Her name is Terrellyn Harris. She's 16 years old and she's going to the Apollo, but give her some encouraging words. If you want to send her something, her Cash App is there and everything, and just kind of encourage her, just to do well on her, her trip to New York City to the Apollo, because it's going to be absolutely amazing, and be praying for her as well. So guys, as I say all the time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the guests, Dr. Kelly, Mark Lee, Nick, Wayne Booker, Kimberly Thompson, Kim, all you guys, thank you so much for what you do. To Gene Hoskins, thank you so much. I was featuring his video on my Facebook page, I Can Make It With Jesus. He's a local artist here. He is absolutely amazing. He's going to be coming to the show soon as well. So without further ado, shout out to my church family, Missioners Grove Baptist Church, my pastor, Pastor Melvin Jackson, First Lady Jackson. Listen, Memorial Day is coming up this weekend. Please be safe. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Be careful. But again, in everything that you do, keep God first in your life. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thy own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. The best is yet to come for you. Stay focused, trust the process, and always continue to have the faith in God. God bless you. We'll see you on next week.
Oh, that's dope.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm walking in my purpose, holding on to God's unchanging hand. In his plan, I trust in him with all of my heart. Though the road gets hard, I made it this far. You are my strength in the time of the storm. My help comes from you. You are what I'm living for. I'm here I am, and I can only be me. I'm terrible. I'm just trying to do what's right. Walk by faith and not sight. Fear keeps knocking on my left side. God stays pushing on my right side. Yea, though I walk through valleys, I trust and praise him proudly. I know he walks beside me. I know God opens every door and he's faithful to perform. My soul has been restored. I know